Okay guys, this is number 1 on your homework. So when we're looking this way, it's going to go right through it. The vertex is blank and blank. So you can look right at the graph. Hopefully we can tell. The vertex, remember, is the turning point right here. So the vertex is at 1, -1. Okay, and it's a point. You see, it's already got the parentheses there too. The axis of symmetry is x equals. So remember, the axis of symmetry is what cuts right down the middle, and it's always x equals the x value of your vertex. So it's x equals 1. The domain is, so now we have to go back and remember some stuff from before. The domain is all the x values. So we look at this picture. This graph with the arrows, it goes as far left as you can imagine and as far right as you can imagine. So if I'm just going to draw on the x-axis the domain, it's everything. It covers the entire x-axis. So the domain is all real numbers. The range, so the range is just the y values. So when we look at the range, I'll do this one in red so we get rid of this part. When we look at the range is where is my picture on the y-axis. You see it starts right here and goes down. And it goes down forever. So the range is all the y's less than or equal to, all the y's less than or equal to or below -1. Okay? So those would be the ones you put for the domain and the range. Now, this next part can be a little confusing. So you've got to read through this pretty carefully. When x is when x is less than 1, okay, increases as x blank. So this takes a little bit to figure out. When x is less than 1, so we're talking about over here. Does that make sense? So here is where x is 1. If we're talking about when x is less than 1, we're talking about the left side of the graph, okay? So when x is less than 1, y increases as x, well, isn't y going up as x is going up? So y increases as x increases. The wording's a little weird, okay? But we're only looking at when it's going up, it's increasing. So this graph is going up as x is increasing. Then, as x is greater than 1. So now we're looking at this half of the graph. And we're saying y increases, well, I'm going up this direction. So actually, as the graph goes up, the x's are getting smaller. So y increases as x decreases, okay? So the first part, when we're looking on the left-hand side, y is increasing as x increases. Because you see this is going up, the y's are increasing, and as it's going up, it's also moving to the right. So the x's are getting bigger. Now we're going to flip it. And this is just you reading the graph, and it's really understanding the English that they're asking. So as x is greater than 1, that tells me I'm looking at the right side of the graph. Okay? So now I'm looking over here. And this is going up, or it's increasing as, notice how the x's are going down, because this is going up and to the left. So it's increasing as I go left, increasing as the x decrease. And I can understand if you have a couple questions on this in class, make sure you ask me when you're giving your work time to work on this. I'm hoping some of you guys can kind of get it from what I just explained. But if you can't, feel free to ask me in class. But that is problem number 1 on your homework.